Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to our channel. As always, it's me, Ivan, and today I would like to tell you a bit more about the watch that I briefly mentioned in one of my recent videos. It's from a brand called Time Token, and what makes it especially interesting is the fact that it comes with a forged carbon case for about $130 US. So if you've ever thought about getting a watch made of carbon fiber, this one might actually be a great choice for testing the waters. Before we start taking a closer look, I just wanted to let you know that Time Token sent me this watch for review, and I don't have to send it back. As usual though, everything you're about to hear is my own opinion based on the time I've spent with the watch. That said, if you decide to go ahead and buy one of these, you can visit the Time Token watch store on AliExpress. The link can be found in the description and the pinned comment below, along with some discount codes, so you can get the best deal possible. Alright guys, let's see what this watch is all about. Starting with the dimensions, you're looking at a case diameter of 41mm, a lug-to-lug of 48, and a thickness of 12.5mm. Finally, the lug width is 20mm. Then on the rubber strap that it comes with, the watch weighs 73 grams, which kind of surprised me as I was expecting it to be lighter. But then I realized that the rubber strap actually adds quite a bit of weight, so I checked it without the strap, and it came in at just 46 grams. Here it is on my 17 centimeters or 6.7 inch wrist. It looks very nice and stealthy, and it's also very comfortable thanks to the strap, which is quite flexible and feels well made. I think it's a good match for the black case, but if you want to replace it with something more colorful, you can easily do so as it comes with quick release spring bars. Next, let's move on to the design. Interestingly, I didn't realize it when I first received the watch, but this one is very much inspired by the Tissot PRX. The main difference is that it doesn't have an integrated bracelet design, but besides that and the slightly larger dimensions, the design language is pretty much the same. Guys, I think what prevented me from noticing it right away is the logo, which immediately reminded me of Porsche, but more on that later. Anyways, I like the design, and I absolutely love the fact that Time Token went for a traditional lug width of 20mm, so you can easily use the straps you already have. Moving on to the build quality, this is probably the part that surprised me the most. I've never had a watch with a carbon case in my hands before, so I was expecting it to feel a bit plastic and cheap. But I'm happy to report that I was completely wrong, as it actually feels very nice and solid to the touch. Plus you get a sapphire crystal in the front and a steel screw-down case back on the back, which gives the watch a water resistance of 100 meters despite having a push-pull crown. So yeah guys, the overall build quality is very nice, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised, just like I was. When it comes to the dial guys, it also seems to be made of carbon, and its handset, indices and overall layout are once again very similar to those of the Tissot PRX. In my opinion, it's a very legible and overall good looking dial. However, I do have one suggestion regarding the logo. It's just a bit too large for my taste, and what's worse is that it's made of plastic, which makes it look a little cheap. Personally, I would have preferred having a double baton hour marker with a smaller logo placed below it, just like they did on their newer models. Don't get me wrong though, I don't think it's a deal breaker. I simply think that a couple of small changes could make the dial look much better. As for the lume, this is where things get a bit more interesting. Under some UV light, you can actually see that the case and the dial have fused some lume into them, which looks very cool. However, don't expect it to last very long, as it literally fades away in a matter of seconds. The lume on the hands and indices does last a bit longer, but it's still not great, as there is simply not enough of it. Finally guys, let's mention the movement. Time Token offers this model with either what I believe is a Seagull movement or a Miota 8215. Mine came with the Miota and it runs very well, just as expected. I'm sure most of you are already familiar with it, but just in case, I will leave the specs somewhere on the screen. Overall, it's a nice affordable movement that you can hack, hand wind, and depend on when it comes to accuracy and reliability, which is why I think it's a good fit for affordable watches like this one. So final thoughts guys, what makes this watch especially interesting is the fact that you're getting both a forged carbon case and a carbon dial for roughly $100, which is honestly quite impressive. The watch feels solid, it's lightweight and comfortable on the wrist, and the overall build quality is better than I initially expected. So if you're curious about carbon case watches and you would like to give one a try without spending a lot of money, I think this Time Token could be a very interesting option. Thank you so much for watching everyone, I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, as I've got a few more cool watches waiting to be reviewed. And of course, let me know what you think about this one in the comments below. Would you consider trying a carbon case watch like this? Or would you rather stick with more traditional materials like steel or titanium? Thanks again for watching guys, take care and I'll catch you in the next one.